As you go into the IRE Stage 2, I just wanted to give you a little bit of guidance as to what you're looking for when you're going in and doing these observations. So I've gone here to assignments, and I've chosen IRE Stage 2, and then I'm going to download the instructions here and bring these up. So you have already done Stage 1, the overview. And as you are thinking about this assignment, whether you're in Stage 1, 2, or 3, we are always thinking about the idea that environments are key to the relationship building and the learning that are happening in the classroom. So when you did Stage 1, these are the things that you needed to be thinking about. And tell me what best practices are for them. What do we need to consider in the physical environment? What do we need to consider for the intellectual development, the environment that the children are learning in? What do we need to consider about the social emotional environment, like the relationships between the teachers and the interactions between the children and the teachers and the children? How is collaboration and community supported in the classroom? Are differences being respected in the classroom? All of those things are important. So you've written about these in Stage 1. So now in Stage 2, your goal is to go in and look for examples of these things in the classroom when you're doing the observation. So when you're doing the observation, you need to schedule at least 90 minutes. And you're going to first do a 30-minute environmental scan, and then a 60-minute interaction event sample. And you're going to need to make sure that you take paper, something to write with, and the chart that I have provided for you for the event sample. If you're already working in a center, you can do your observation there. If you need help finding some place to do an observation, contact me and I'll help you. Be sure that you arrange a time when a variety of interactions will be observable, which means not nap time, because everybody will be laying down. So either in the morning when they're doing primarily learning centers, or in the afternoon after nap. So the first thing you're going to do for the environmental scan is you are just going to tell the teacher that you're just going to watch. You're not going to participate. You're just doing observation only, and figure out kind of where the best place for you to sit is when you're doing it. Ask for the daily schedule, because the schedule is important. And if they can't give you a copy of the schedule, write it down. So if they don't have it posted on the classroom wall somewhere, make sure that you interview the teacher to get the schedule. The schedule is something I will be looking for when I'm grading. During the environmental scan, one of the first things that you're going to do is draw a diagram of the classroom. So just on a blank piece of paper, you're going to draw like a bird's eye view of what the classroom looks like. And what you're going to do is label like how the classroom is laid out. So tell me like where the learning centers are, and where there's tile and when there's carpet, and where the book area and maybe the circle time carpet area is, those sorts of things. And then you are going to take notes on the features and the aspects of the physical environment that you see in the classroom. So you are also going to include notes on the physical environment, the intellectual environment, and the social emotional environment. Going back up here to these writing prompts, we're going to take primarily for the environmental scan, you're looking at this. So how the physical environment is arranged. Does the size of the room seem appropriate for the number of children? Do the materials seem appropriate for the age group? How is it decorated? Is it decorated? Is it not decorated? Are the colors calm and soothing, or are they bright? Is it hot in there? Is it cold in there? Is it dark? Is it bright and colorful and cheery? And then how the room is arranged and supports self-regulation. So here you're going to think about how the room is arranged, and does that support self-regulation? And remember, self-regulation is all about being able to be autonomous. It's about being able to make their own choices appropriately according to their age group. So in what ways does the classroom keep children focused on their work? How does the arrangement of the classroom keep them engaged? How does the schedule keep them engaged? How do the teachers keep them engaged? Or do they not? Is it the opposite? Are you seeing lots of children walking around, not being able to settle into the work that they're supposed to do? Do you see a lot of materials and toys scattered on the floor with nobody really doing anything with them? What are you seeing? How is the environment itself lending to a healthy environment that the children can learn in? You're going to need enough notes to be able to write a one-page environmental scan summary. And the summary writing prompts are down here. So what you're going to do is a one-page summary on the environmental scan for the observation site that you do. In the summary, include information in a broad sense on how children's learning and development is supported or not supported by the environment. Make sure that you attach your diagram of the classroom and the daily schedule as well. And you might need to send those in 3 different files, but that's okay. But again, for this first environmental scan, what you're doing is you're looking around the room, you're drawing the diagram, you're writing down the schedule, and then you're specifically thinking about how the physical environment works or doesn't work in order to help children learn and develop in the classroom. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do an interaction event sample. And here at the bottom is a sample chart that you can use. So you can copy and paste this onto a blank Word document and use it for your own. You'll probably have more than 10 interactions. So you'll probably need to expand this a little bit. So for this, you will begin the event sample, and you're going to make sure that you write down the number of children in the room, the number of staff in the room, what activities are occurring during the observation time period, what interaction strategies are used, including verbal communication and guidance strategies. So you're going to want to take notes down here in this chart of the interactions that you see happening between the children and between the teachers and children, and even between the teachers and the teachers. So how this will work is for the first 10 minutes that you're paying attention to what's happening in the classroom, you're going to write down the first interaction that you see. This might be between 2 children. And then maybe they're fighting. And so the next interaction you're going to see is the teacher come over and talk to the 3 children. And then they get that resolved. And then what other reaction do you see during this first 10 minutes? And then what other interaction do you see here? So for 10 minutes, you're writing down all of the interactions you see. And then for the next 10 to 20 minutes, you're going to do the same thing. Maybe here it's 2 teachers discussing whether they're going to go outside or not because the weather's bad. And then here you see Margot and James working together playing blocks in cooperatively playing in the block area. And here you see Milo and Angie together at the writing center. And what interactions are you seeing here? All right. So that's how you're going to fill this out. So the majority of this should be filled out because there's going to be a lot of interactions happening. So for 10 minutes, for each 10-minute block, you're just going to keep recording exactly what you see happening. Then you also need to be thinking about, so for the 60-minute period, focus specifically on the interactions, and you're collecting this information. The description of the interaction, you can include quotes if you want, the location of the interaction, what they're doing, what was the reason, how long the interaction lasted, if it was adult to adult, child to adult, child to child, child to environment, because it could be somebody working on their own. And then make sure that down here on this chart, you are taking enough information that you are going to be able to write your one-page summary. You may want to make these blocks bigger so you have more room to write in as you're doing the work. Or you can take other notes on another piece of paper if you want to do that as well. But you will need to fill in this chart. So like maybe you want to put this information here in the box, but then put more information on the side. The one thing that I want to highlight is because I can't see the observations happening at the same time. If you are not collecting every little single thing that happens, it's fine. I just want you to be able to collect enough interactions in the classroom to be able to make an educated decision about whether the interactions that are happening are helping or hindering growth and development in the classroom. Specifically, we're looking at how the teachers are supporting those interactions for learning. Okay, so after you have made all of those, then you are going to write a one-page summary of what you observed in the event sample. In that summary, you're going to include information on how children's learning and development is supported or not supported by the interactions. So in general, how are those interactions helping? How are they supporting? Or are they not? Or are you not seeing, and do you feel like you're not seeing enough interactions happening? And why might that be the case? And what do you think could be helping more in the classroom to make that a better situation? As you're working on this, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you haven't done any kind of environmental scan or any kind of charting like this before, you might want to practice before you do it, just so that you are sure that you know exactly what you're looking for. You have your chart ready. You know what you're going to write in there. You know what notes you're going to make. Again, reach out if I can help in any way.